Joining us on TrumanBulldogs.com is longtime Truman wrestling coach Dave Schutter. And coach, nationally ranked team to start the season, top-ranked wrestler at 149, 2 returning national qualifiers. You got to feel pretty good going into this season.
It's a pretty solid team for us coming back this season. A lot of depth on the team, a lot of good young kids. Recruiting went well. We're in a good position.
Talk about your 2 national qualifiers. Ryan Mouse comes in nationally ranked, finished 3rd last year at Division II, his 3rd straight trip. Has he got national championship in his eyes?
Ryan's definitely poised and set, on the #1 spot this year. He knows it's not going to be easy. He knows there's guys in our regional tournament. It's a new regional tournament. It's going to be very tough. People are going to be gunning for him. But, he's handled the pressure well in the past. He's never started off the season well. He's one of these guys that just keeps getting better as the year goes along. And the pressure at the national tournament has never really seen the baller him. I mean, he's been there 3 times, came all the way through and got 3rd last year, lost only to the national champion from Kearney. And it was a close match up until the last 30 seconds of the match. That was probably the national championship match right there, toughest match for the Kearney kid.
He's kind of going to have a target on his back throughout the year, and he's going to have some tough conference competition as well. I believe 2 of the wrestlers that are also ranked in that weight class are from the MIAA, so even the conference tournament is going to be a good test for Ryan.
Oh, it's going to be real tough. People that don't follow Division II wrestling, our conference, MIAA conference, is real tough. Ryan didn't even finish in the top 4 last year. Like I said, he's a slow starter, finishes strong. Fort Hays State has a good young kid that beat Ryan at conference. Ryan beat him in a duel. Central Missouri's got a kid that's really tough this year. They had a kid last year that was very tough. UCO's got a kid that's beat Ryan 3 times last year. Ryan beat him at nationals. So, and then you have Kearney. Lindenwood kids are really tough. It's going to be a very tough conference. And then our regional is going to be very tough.
Talk about some of your other kids. Colton Schmidt returns 157. He's your national qualifier from last year. You had some good, strong wrestlers in the middle of your lineup. What do you expect this year from top to bottom?
Colton's real solid. He's put together a great wrestling career here at Truman. Local kid. We expect him to also contend for a national title. I mean, he is as good as anybody out there at 157 pounds. Very physical, very strong, hard to score on. He was in a match twice last year to be All-American, lost close matches. He knows he can compete with the best. He's wrestled a UCO kid who's national champion at 157. So, and then when you have a good room where you have Ryan Moss at 49, Colton Smith at 57, Devin Fitzenmaker at 65, and then we got some other guys that push them in the room at their spots. We have Josh Wells at 65, who's also right in there pushing Devin. We have Luke Kanachi that pushes Colton at 57. We have a freshman who's pushing Ryan Moss at 149 that we're redshirting. This kid, Roy Winnington out of Chicago, is very solid, very tough kid. So that's what makes national champions, is having those guys that push them in a room.
13 duels this season, including the national duels in January. How excited is your team about going back to that meet?
Very excited. They give away some really nice stuff at the national duels, so young college athletes love to go where they get some free stuff. They're pretty excited. It's a lot of duels. Used to be we wrestle a lot of opens, a lot of tournaments, and then I started looking at to build your fan base. You got to have duels. The more duels you have, the stronger you build your fan base. The more administrators, like the duel competition versus open tournaments. So we went to a lot more duels. And if you look at Division I, they wrestle a lot more duels. And when we switched to duels, our performances have came up too. So we're very heavily laying on duels this year. And I think it will pay off for us at the regionals, at the national tournament.
Tough conference again this year. Nebraska Kearney, the defending national champion, defending conference champion, I believe. Central Oklahoma, they are right there at the top, so they're going to be tough to knock off, but it should be a fun conference season.
It's going to be a very tough conference. injuries will play a huge part, when we get down to the conference tournament. The duels will be very tough. And I mean, it's just tough from top to bottom because if anybody has a couple injuries, they could end up losing a duel. Nebraska Kearney lost last year at the national duels, first round to Wisconsin Parkside, and then they go on and win another national title. Central Oklahoma is always tough from top to bottom. They have a very deep room. It's going to be tough. Lindenwood, is a full conference member this year. They've been NAI national champions, well-supported program. They're going to be solid. Central Missouri's added some coaches to their staff. They've got a huge roster. They could somebody could jump up there and surprise people. Newman's in the conference, I believe, this year. Going to be interesting. But that's not to overlook Truman. We're going to be the best we've ever been in my 23 years here at Truman. We're solid from top to bottom. We even have some depth. If we get a guy hurt or two, we got some guys we can plug in there. So we're going to be very competitive.
Season starts in a few weeks at the Knox Invitational. Then you have a home duel against Hannibal LaGrange, so plenty of opportunity for fans to come out and watch.
Yes, November 14th's going to be like our reception night, alumni night. We hope to have a huge crowd here. Hannibal LaGrange has improved a lot. They've picked up some recruits out of Oklahoma. Their coach has gotten out there hitting the recruiting trail, and he's done a good job. They're going to be very improved. We look forward to starting off with them at home. Knox Invitationals is always a tough duel, and we're opening up the second week in November. There's going to be a lot of teams there. It's going to have a weekend ahead of us. But then yet, that makes their season long. We know we're going to be at the national tournament. We know we're going to compete well at the end of the year. So we wanted to start just a little later so our season didn't get too long on us.
We look forward to following you the rest of the year.
Thank you, Kevin.
For TrumanBulldogs.com, you can follow the Bulldog wrestling team this season, TrumanBulldogs.com, and on Twitter at Truman Athletics. For Coach Dave Schutter, I'm Kevin White. We'll see you at the matches.